Hi guys, good day, it's me, Teacher MJ. Our topic for today class is all about the subsets of real numbers. So without further ado, let's do this topic. Now later on class, we'll be answering this activity. We have given numbers and then we're going to identify by putting a check mark if the number is natural or counting number, if the number is a whole number, if the number is an integer, or if the number is rational or irrational. So before we answer this one class is we need to understand more what are the subsets of real numbers. Now this will be the diagram for real numbers and real numbers denoted by capital R. And we also have the subsets of real numbers. We have the rational numbers denoted by capital Q, and we also have irrational numbers denoted by capital Q. Then with apostrophe, we call that one Q prime. Now we also have the subsets of rational numbers. We have the integers denoted by capital Z, and we also have the non-integer rational numbers. Now for the integers class, we have subsets of integers. We have the whole numbers denoted by capital W, and we have negative numbers. And for the whole numbers, we do have subset of whole numbers. We have the natural or counting numbers denoted by capital N, and then we also have 0. Now do not be worried with this one class because we will be explaining this one step by step with regards to the subset of real numbers. Now let's talk about subsets of real numbers. The first one, we have the counting or natural numbers. This set includes all numbers we use for counting starting with 1 and so on. All counting numbers are positive numbers. The letter N is the symbol used for natural numbers. So let's have an example. The set of natural numbers or set N, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then after 5 you have those three dots. Those three dots, it means ellipses. That would be so on and so forth. So including positive 6, positive 7, positive 10, positive 20, positive 100. So therefore, class, for counting numbers, there would be positive 1. So starting with 1, and then all positive numbers. Now, the second subset of real numbers, we have the whole numbers. Now, whole numbers are real numbers which include 0 and all positive integers. The letter W is the symbol used for whole numbers. So let's have an example. The set of whole numbers or set W, we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then after 5 you have those three dots. It means so on and so forth. Now, what would be the difference between the counting numbers and the whole numbers? Now, for counting numbers class, you will start at 1. So you have 1 and then all positive numbers. For whole numbers, you will start at 0 and then all positive numbers. So therefore, class, we can say that counting numbers, okay, counting or natural numbers are a subset of a whole numbers. Once again, class, counting or natural numbers are a subset of a whole numbers. Question, why is that, sir? Because all the elements, class, all the elements of these counting numbers, this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then so on, you can also see that on the whole numbers. We also have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then so on. So therefore, counting numbers or natural numbers are a subset of a whole number. So if you draw this one on a Venn diagram, so we have natural numbers, and the natural numbers are a subset of a whole numbers. Okay, so natural number is inside this whole number. Therefore, we can say that natural number are a subset of a whole numbers. So I hope class it's clear for you with regards to this one for the Venn diagram. So natural numbers are a subset of a whole numbers. Question, why is that, sir? Because all the elements, this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you can also see that on the whole numbers. We also have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with regards to the whole numbers. The difference for whole numbers, you will start at 0. But all the elements of this counting numbers, this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you can also see that on the whole numbers. All the elements of the counting number are also in the whole numbers. Now, the third subset of real numbers is what we call integers. An integer is a whole number that can be positive, negative, or 0. The letter Z is the symbol used for integers. So let's have an example. The set of integers or set Z, we have this 3 dots and then negative 3, negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, and another 3 dots. Once again, class, going to the left, After negative 3, you have these 3 dots. It means so on and so forth. So including negative 4, negative 5, negative 10, negative 20, negative 30, up to negative infinity. Now going to the right, we have positive 3 and another 3 dots. So therefore, including positive 4, positive 5, positive 10, positive 20, positive 100, up to positive infinity. Now, as you can see, class, with regards to integers, we can say that this natural number, once again, this yellow circle, this natural number and whole number are a subset of integers. Once again, class, natural numbers or counting numbers, whole numbers are a subset of integers. Question, why is that, sir? Because all the elements of natural numbers and all the elements of whole numbers are in the integers. So once again, do you still remember, class, the elements of natural numbers? What are the elements, class? That's correct. You start at 1. Once again, natural or counting numbers, you start at 1 and then all positive numbers. So therefore, we can see all the elements of natural numbers in the integers. Now for the whole numbers, class, do you still remember what are the elements of whole numbers? That's correct. You start at 0. Once again, you start at 0 and then all positive numbers. So therefore, class, if the teacher will ask you why natural numbers and whole numbers are a subset of integers, because all the elements of natural numbers and then all the elements of whole numbers are also in the integers. You can see the elements of natural numbers and whole numbers in the integers. So once again, for natural numbers, there would be 1, 2, 3 up to positive infinity. And then for whole numbers, there would be 0 up to positive infinity. All the elements of natural numbers and then whole numbers are also the elements of integers. So that's why natural numbers and whole numbers are a subset of integers. So we can draw another circle and then this will be the integer. So therefore, natural numbers and whole numbers are inside the integers. Now, the fourth subset of real numbers is what we call the rational numbers. Now, I'm sure, class, you already have this topic, rational numbers, because you are done in adding and subtracting rational numbers as well as multiplying and dividing rational numbers. Once again, if you want to learn more about rational numbers, I will just put the link on the description down below. So do not be worried, class, because we will be explaining once again what are those rational numbers. Now, the set of numbers that can be expressed as a fraction of a over b, where a and b are integers and b should not be equal to 0. Rational numbers are often denoted by capital Q from the first letter of the word quotient. Integers, fractions, decimals, percents are called rational numbers. Once again, class, for rational number, it is expressed as a fraction of two integers, a over b. Alright, so let's explain this one. So we have the integers, fractions, decimals, and percent. Now for the integers, class, example, 5, positive 5. Now is positive 5 rational number? Can we call positive 5 as rational number? Yup, we can call this 5 integer as rational number. Why is that, sir? Because this 5, class, you can express this one as a fraction of two integers. We can have 5 over 1. Understood that any number, any whole number, understood that there is a denominator of 1. If you have your numerator, if you have your denominator, therefore we can call this one rational number. Once again, class, fraction a over b. A rational number can be expressed as a fraction a over b. So therefore, you have your numerator and then you have your denominator. Just make sure that the denominator should not be equal to 0. So therefore, an integer 5 is also called as a rational number because this 5 can be expressed into a fraction that would be 5 over 1. Another example, if I say negative 3, is negative 3 an integer? Yup, negative 3 is an integer. Now next question, is negative 3 a rational number? Yup, negative 3 is a rational number because we can express this one into negative 3 over 1. Understood that any number, there is a denominator of 1. So you have your numerator, which is negative 3, and then you have your denominator, which is 1. So therefore, negative 3 is also a rational number because we can express this one into a fraction, -3/1. Alright, now for a fraction, all fractions are considered rational numbers because a fraction, it has a numerator and then it has a denominator. So 2/5 is a rational number. And then 1/4 is also a rational number because it has a numerator and then it has a denominator. Alright, now let's proceed to decimal. Now 0.5. Can we call 0.5 as a rational number? Can we write 0.5 into a fraction? Yup, we can also write 0.5 into a fraction, or we can convert this one. Once again, the place value of 5 is tenths for the decimal, so we can write this one as to 5/10. Once again, place value is 10. 0.5 is just the same with 5/10. So copy 5 and then the place value is tenths. So that would be 5/10. Can we reduce 5/10? Yup, we can reduce this one. We can divide the numerator and then the denominator by 5. So reduce, divide by 5. So the answer is 1/2. So therefore, class, a decimal can be a rational number if it has a numerator and then if it has a denominator. But once again, class, for decimals, remember this one, repeating and terminating decimals are rational numbers. So only repeating and terminating decimals. Now, what are those terminating decimals? Now, terminating decimals, class, it has an n. Example, 0.5. We call this one terminating decimals because it has an n. Another example, 0.2, 0.25, 0.75. We call that one terminating decimals because it has an n. Now, repeating decimals. What are those repeating decimals, class? That's correct. Repeating decimals, that would be repeating. Example, 0.333, 0.666, 0.555. Those are repeating decimals. So if it's repeating decimals and then terminating decimals, we call that one rational numbers. Because 0.666, we can write that one 2/3. Once again, class, let me just write this one. 0.666. Okay, example 0.666. Let's put a bar on the top. It means repeating. So 0.666, that would be the same with 2/3. If you will divide 2/3, you will get 0.666. So therefore, 0.666 is a rational number because we can express this one into a fraction. Alright, so last one, percent. So example, 75%. Can we write this one into a fraction? Yup, we can convert percent into decimal and then decimal to fraction. So to convert this one into decimal, simply move the decimal point. That would be right to left twice. Alright, so therefore 75%, that would be the same with 0.75. And then 0.75, we can write this one into a fraction, right? So 0.75, once again, place value, tenths, and then hundredths. So therefore, that would be 75/100. So once again, place value, tenths, and then hundredths. So 75/100. Can we reduce? Yup, we can reduce. We can divide this one by 25. So 75 divided by 25, that would be 3. And then 100 divided by 25, that would be 4. So therefore, 75% can be written into a fraction. And a fraction, it's always a rational number. So therefore, percents are rational numbers. So therefore, we can say that natural numbers, whole numbers, integers are a subset of rational number. Okay, so therefore, the last circle, that would be rational numbers. Now, the last subset of real numbers is what we call irrational numbers. Irrational numbers are a subset of real numbers that cannot be expressed as a fraction of any integer and have decimal expressions that are non-repeating and non-terminating. We will denote irrational numbers as q with apostrophe, and we call this one q prime. Once again, class, this q with apostrophe, we call this one q prime. Now, let's have an example, class, for irrational numbers. We start with square root of 2. Once again, class, if the number inside this radical symbol, if the number inside the square root is not a perfect square, automatic, class, that example is an irrational number. Because if we get the value class of square root of 2, the answer that would be 1.4142135562, and then the number will not end. Okay, once again, class, the number will not end. It will be non-terminating. So if the number will not end, class, therefore that number is an irrational number. So square root of 2 is an irrational number. That's automatic, class. If the number inside the square root is not a perfect square, automatic, that number is an irrational number. Another example. So cube root of 10. Do we have cube root of 10? Is 10 a perfect cube? Nope, we don't have a cube root of 10, because you think of a number, class, that when you multiply the number 3 times by itself, you will get 10. And we don't have that number, because the only number, example 2, we multiply 2 by itself 3 times, 2 times 2 times 2, that would be 8. So therefore, the cube root of 8, that's 2. But for the cube root of 10, we don't have a cube root of 10. So therefore, if the number inside this cube root is not a perfect cube, automatic, it would be an irrational number. So if we get the answer, class, for the cube root of 10, the answer that would be 2.154434690. Then after 0, so it will not terminate. So it will be continuous. So after 0, you have another number. So therefore, that would be non-terminating. So therefore, this will be an irrational number. So cube root of 10 is an irrational number. Same with square root of 2 is an irrational number. And then another example, pi. So the value of pi, that would be 3.141592653. Then after 3, there's still another number. So the numbers will not end. So non-terminating. So therefore, these are the examples of irrational numbers. Alright, so irrational number, we can draw another circle for irrational numbers. Alright, and to summarize this one for the subsets of real numbers using a Venn diagram, so we start with natural or counting numbers, and then natural and counting numbers are a subset of whole numbers. So we have whole numbers, and then natural and whole numbers are a subset of integers. Okay, so we have integers, and then natural numbers, whole numbers, integers are a subset of rational numbers. Alright, and then we also have irrational numbers. And these all numbers is what we call real numbers. So I hope, class, it's clear for you with regards to real numbers. So if you understand the real numbers, let's have our activity. Alright, so let's proceed now to our activity. So given numbers, number 1, 7. Is 7 a natural or counting numbers? Yup, 7 is a counting number. Once again, class, for counting numbers or natural numbers, you start at 1 and then all positive numbers. So that would be a big check. Now, is 7 a whole numbers? Yup, 7 is a whole numbers. Once again, for whole numbers, you start at 0 and then all positive numbers. Now, is 7 an integer? Yup, 7 is an integer. And then 7 is also a rational number. Alright, so number 2, 21.15. Is 21.15 a natural or counting number? Nope, it's not. Once again, natural or counting number, that would be numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, and then all positive numbers. So therefore, it's not. How about whole number? Nope, it's not. Integer? Nope, it's not. Is it a rational number? Yep, it's a rational number. That would be terminating decimal. So our answer, it's only rational number. Alright, so number 3, -6. Is it a natural or counting numbers? Nope, it's not. So once again, natural numbers, you start at 1 and then all positive numbers. Now, is it a whole numbers? Nope, it's not. So whole numbers, that would be 0 and then positive numbers. Is it an integer? Yep, it is an integer. So integers, that would be positive or negative whole numbers, including 0. Alright, yep, it's an integer. Is it a rational number? Yep, it's a rational number. All integers considered to be rational numbers. Alright, so number 4, 0. Is it a counting number? Nope. So once again, counting number, you start at 1. So our answer is no for counting number. How about whole number? Is 0 a whole number? Yep, 0 is a whole number. Is it an integer? Yup, 0 is an integer, and then it's a rational number. All right, so 2 over 5, is it a counting number? Nope. Is it a whole number? Nope. Is it an integer? Nope. Once again, integer class is a whole number. Is it a rational number? Yup. 2 over 5 is a fraction. That would be rational number. All right, so number 6 is square root of 64. Is 64 a perfect square? Yup, 64 is a perfect square. What would be the square root of 64, class? That's correct. The square root of 64, we can write our answer. This will be, what's the answer, class? That's correct. That would be 8. So is 8 a counting number? Yup, it's a counting number. Is 8 a whole number? Yup, 8 is a whole number. Is 8 an integer? Yup, 8 is an integer. Is 8 a rational number? Yup, 8 is a rational number. Alright, so square root of 15. Do we have a square root of 15? Is 15 a perfect square? Nope, 15 is not a perfect square. That's automatic. It will be an irrational number. Alright, so number 8, 3.1515. So as you can see, we have repeating decimals. So repeating decimals, we call that one rational number. So this is not a counting number. This is not a whole number. This is not an integer. It will be a rational number. It will be repeating decimal, and that would be a rational number. Alright, so number 9, we have negative, then square root of 25. Can we simplify this one? Yep, we can simplify this one. So copy negative sign. And then the square root of 25, that is 5. So the square root of 25, that is 5. So it will be negative 5. Once again, class, copy negative sign. And then you get the square root of 25, that would be 5. So the answer is negative 5. Is negative 5 a counting number? Nope, it's not. Once again, counting number, you start at 1 and then all positive numbers. Is it a whole number? Nope, it's not. So whole numbers, you start at 0 and then all positive numbers. Is it an integer? Yep, it is an integer. Is it a rational number? Yep, it is a rational number. Alright, and then for number 10 class, you try this one, 2 square root of 3, and you put your answer in the comment section down below. Let me check, class, if you really understand our topic. So I hope, class, you learned something new today. Once again, if you like this video, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. You share it to your friends and to your classmates so that we can help more students. Once again, this is Teacher MJ. Have a great day, class. Goodbye for now. Bye-bye.